word of Jehovah came to Jonah a second time, saying, "Get up and go to Nineveh, the great city, and proclaim to her the message that I tell you." So Jonah got up and went to Nineveh in obedience to the word of Jehovah. Now Nineveh was a very large city, a walking distance of 3 days. Then Jonah entered the city and walking a day's journey, he was proclaiming, "In just 40 days more, Nineveh will be overthrown." And the men of Nineveh put faith in God, and they proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth from the greatest to the least of them. And the message reached the king of Nineveh. He rose up from his throne and took off his royal garments and covered himself with sackcloth and sat down in the ashes. Furthermore, he issued a proclamation throughout Nineveh by the decree of the king and his nobles. No man or beast, herd or flock should eat anything at all. They should not take any food, nor should they drink any water. Let them be covered with sackcloth, both man and beast, and let them call out earnestly to God and turn from their evil ways and from the violence they practice. Who knows whether the true God may reconsider what he intends to do and turn from his burning anger, so that we may not perish. When the true God saw what they did, how they had turned back from their evil ways, he reconsidered the calamity that he would bring on them and did not bring it.
Thank you, Brother Sanchez. We always appreciate reading assignment. It's a good way to help us to improve in our reading, and of course that can be transferred even down the line when we're out in the ministry. We have to read so much from the scriptures out in the ministry. The point that Brother Sanchez was covering is on the suitable volume. That's study point number 8. And particularly I was noticing on page 108, one of the points that certainly fits the circumstance here says we have to consider the material being discussed. So naturally the subject or the nature of the material, as is mentioned there, will have a bearing on what type of volume is needed. So you did a pretty good job on that. As it says, if the subject calls for strength, do not weaken the presentation by speaking too softly. So certainly what you had there was in part the denunciations that Jonah had to proclaim, but at the same time you changed your tone a little bit when you were expressing what the king was saying about who knows whether or not God would change his mind. So we appreciate that, and that was handled very effectively. Okay.